And welcome back to the Dogfather Model and Toys. This is the third video made of the Planet of the Apes franchise. This is the Battle for the Planet of the Apes, a look back. And as you can see from the movie poster, it says the final chapter. Because going into this was already decided to be the final Planet of the Apes movie. The Battle for the Planet of the Apes had a $2 million budget and made $2.8 at the box office. It was released in 1973. Starring Ronnie McDowell as Caesar, Paul Williams as Virgil the orangutan, and Claude Akins, General Aldo. You can see there's a mutant soldier being lifted over a gorilla's head. Okay, the movie starts off with an orangutan who is referred to as the lawgiver, basically going into what happened in the Escape and Conquest movies. Also, this is the year 2670. And he's going into details how it became, the fight about Caesar and Garnias coming from the past, and Caesar leaving a revolt and the humans resorting to nuclear weapons. The lawgiver, what's his John? I think he was portrayed by John Huston, the famous director and actor. And then you see, while the credits rolled, you see General Aldo on horseback. Aldo ain't the smartest of the breed. And unlike the previous, the first two Planet of the Apes, they live in tree houses. And there's a school. And apparently some gorillas flunked a few classes. You see them back there, they look grown. And Aldo's must be the dunce because he can't read or write. Now, question. You see, in all these Planet of the Apes movies, you see orangutans. Where's the female orangutans? And there's the school teacher, and he's teaching them, ape shall never kill ape. Just remember that from down the road. Next. And Aldo, being a smarty pants, say what happens if ape kills Abe, which is the teacher's name. And of course his buddies there think it's funny. And Aldo kind of rips up Caesar's son's paper. Caesar's son's name is Carneus, and the school teacher reverts to saying no to Aldo, which is a big no-no with humans. And I think I need to turn off the overhead. There we go. Well, there's Paul Williams as Virgil. And he hears it and he says, say you're sorry and go home quickly. Well, Otto gets mad and chases the teacher, and then the teacher goes to Caesar begging for mercy. And there's Caesar in his luxury King Palace treehouse. Well, he comes down and tells Aldo, let it go. He won't do it again. And this gentleman right here, besides Caesar, that's McDowell, not the same one from Conquest. It's his. You find out the other McDonald was killed because there's a comic book series between Conquest and Battle, and the McDowell from that one was killed. Before the city was blown to smithereens, and Caesar's took his brother, and Virgil saying, I heard what he did. He said no to it. Well, they let him go with just a warning. Don't do it again. There's Caesar saying, he wish he'd listened to or could have talked to his parents about what happened. And McDonald says there is a way, but we got to go back to the city, which is forbidden. And of course, Caesar's wife Lisa don't like it. And Caesar's like, okay, let's gear up and let's go. Of course, his wife is really not for it. And that's the armor. He's in charge of the weapons that they took from the Forbidden City, which still don't have a name. Only time you actually thought had a name was probably the beginning, the first Planet of the Apes, which you saw the Statue of Liberty. So who knows what town the Forbidden City is, because they never really go into details. And he gives them, why do you need weapons? And there they are off on the yellow brick sand road to the Forbidden City, which that's what's left of it after the nuclear bomb destroyed it. Now, one question. You've seen this. The orangutans, the gorillas, and the chimpanzees are wearing the same clothes that they wore in the original Planet of the Apes movie. Where did they get the design at? Well, one thing, they probably had a load of them at 20th Century Fox, and to save money, they reused them. That's my thought. They repurposed them. Because Caesar didn't talk to his parents. He didn't even see his parents. And the city is still radioactive, so they can't be in there long. Because right there you see Virgil with a Geiger counter. And they don't think anyone's left. And there they are walking through there with molted cars in the background. And McDonald said, McDonald's going, this way, this way. And they're like, okay, we're coming, we're coming. Also, you notice, will you quit growling? Well, now I got a barky going. They're wearing shoes that resemble apes. And then later on, that's not always the case. And there's some more pictures of the ruined city. And there they find the door where McDonald there's footage of an interview from Escape that is in the archives of the Forbidden City, and McDonald knows where the archive is, so they're trusting him. Now, once they get inside, it ain't that bad destroyed, just the outside. And that there is like a spy camera, and there they are in the archive, and Caesar's looking at the footage. And then, let's see. Okay, there's Zera's interview, and then Carneas. Now I can go back a little bit. After looking at all that, Virgil notices a camera moving, he thinks. Okay, now he's returns from conquest. Apparently Governor Breck was killed, and he took over the governorship of the Forbidden City. And that's Governor Cope. And then there's a few, I mean, they're showing signs of radiation poisoning. And then the camera shows it, you see it there in his face. The camera showing that they have intruders. And when they destroy the spy camera, Cope orders them to be shot dead, and here comes the army out of nowhere. The mutants, or they call them mutants, but the humans, survivors of the city, comes running out with guns, going after them. And Caesar, they don't kill no one. Caesar's holding a water hose. He gives them a bath, and they hightail it out of there. And there they are. They outside there shooting, but their eyes ain't used to the sunlight. And Cope's demanding them to follow him and see what's going on out there. Now, my thing. Why are they living in the city? It's ruined. I mean, Ape City's just one little city. They could have found somewhere else where it wasn't radioactive. And there's Caesar. They make it back, and Aldo's like showing his being a bully to Caesar. And there's Caesar giving his findings of the city. With his family next to him. And there's the council of orangutans. Well, they invite the humans in because who else better than know what a human does than humans? And Aldo says he won't be he's being a bigot. He don't want to be around humans. Well, here's the mutant scout party, and he thinks that, okay, we're out here in the nice green field, plenty of fresh water and food, but we're going to tell Governor Cope that they're planning a war, and so and here he is, Aldo, trying to convince the other gorillas to go after Caesar, until this gorilla snitches, saying he sees Carneus up in a tree, and he cuts him down, and he's injured. And then the other apes are all hanging around, worrying about Caesar's son. And there's the mutants are leaving the Forbidden City. I mean, they got buses and all that. Why didn't they just move? Get everybody together going, hey, let's go somewhere else. So somewhere's going to radioactive us. Well, my Caesar's son's in dire need. Aldo takes command of the city. And he breaks into the armory and steals guns. There he is on Caesar's seat. And he has the gorillas put the humans in a stockade. And Virgil makes his way to Caesar, telling him what's going on. Now, I'm pretty sure there's more than just this many humans in that an ape city, but some may have been hiding. Then they hear the army coming, and the battle for the Planet of the Apes really begins. I mean, they're going up against an army with grenades and bullets and grenade launchers, and they erect a barricade and shooting at the army, which keeps coming. And you see, they're not used to the sunlight, so that's why they're wearing special visors over their eyes. Look, they're out in the open. Just stay there. I'm pretty sure Caesar, if you move to a nice green valley and plant crops, Caesar ain't going to bother you. But they're paranoid. And there they are, blowing up another tree house, and Caesar's still shooting. And then they find Caesar laying on the ground, and Cope basically is trying to torment him. And all these apes are laying around, and Caesar's listening to Cope, and Cope's wanting to extract revenge. Then a couple gorillas, not a couple gorillas, but apes throw grenades, and it gets our attention, and Caesar says, now we fight like apes. And they start guerrilla warfare, basically. And he's telling Virgil, let him go. But they do capture a few. And Aldo attacks the bus, which has Governor Culp on it, and kills him. Then he goes after Caesar, who's trying to free the humans. And then the big secret comes out that Aldo's the one that's responsible for Caesar's son's death, and all the apes start chanting, "Ape has killed ape," and you see them all there gathered around, and Aldo's finally realizing what he's done, goes up in a tree. Caesar follows him, and Aldo slings a sword. Caesar catches it and pushes him out of a tree, killing Aldo. Then Caesar realizes what he's done. And he goes down to free the humans, and McDonald says no. We want our freedom. If not, just leave us in here. So Caesar grants her wish, And it's time to move on and build. Which comes back to the lawgiver. He said now some 600 years since Caesar's passing, they wait. And you look, this is the part you didn't see at the beginning, that he's teaching a lesson to apes and humans, but no gorilla kids or orangutans. I don't know why I keep bringing that up, but it's the truth. And then at the very end, you see a statue of Caesar. You can't see it in the picture. And there's like a tear that falls down his eyeball, out of his eyes, and that can be interpreted one of two ways. That Caesar knew he changed the future for the better, or he failed, and that's how the movie ended. Now, there was a deleted scene before the Culp here goes off to war. He tells her, upon his signal, if they fail, to release the bomb. And then at the end of the movie, it's the same bomb from beneath the Planet of the Apes. Now, that can be found in a longer version of the movie. But when one of the soldiers come back and he said, "We failed," she and Mendez, the other, let's see, wait. Okay, the guy without the beard right here, that guy right there, that's Mendez, or as they say, Mendez the First. Now on Yahoo Planet of the Apes page, you got the destiny of the Mendezes. which is the name of the mutant from the Beneath the Planet of the Apes. He was the ancestor of this guy, the protector of the holy bomb, as they put it. And that started that. Okay, now we'll get back to where we were. But they never released a nuclear bomb because he says something like, it's beautiful, we're beautiful, and all this. Now, one thing, in the comic book adaptation, these guys are really mutated. I mean, their skin's melted off. They look like something out of The Walking Dead, not like a few blisters here and there. But I guess, I mean, they just look bad. And of course, there was a comic book, like with Conquest, it was an ongoing series. And there's Aldo and Caesar fighting in the tree that's on fire. Now, the comic book covers were always the best part of the comic, I thought. But the artwork is good, too. I mean, hold on for a second. Okay. I've downloaded this from Hunter's Planet of the Apes site. I mean, the drawings are superb. There's what I was saying about the lawgiver's speech and Caesar delivering his people. But the comic book artwork was second to none back then. I mean, look at that right there. Let's see how you magnify it there. Just think of the comic book artist had to draw that. I mean, their leaves. He's got the wood panels, the grain in the wood, wrinkles on the gorilla faces. I mean, these comic books were done excellent, in my opinion. Let's see if I can find what the mutants. And there they are, like I said, in the Forbidden City. There they are. Now the difference is from the comic book and the movie, Breck is still alive in the comic book. And that's Governor Breck. Only reason I think Breck wasn't in battle because Don Murray was busy with another project. Alma, and that's Mendez. But like I said, these guys are really. Let me see if I can make it a little better. Like I said, they're really scarred up. Look at their faces that are melting off their bones. But I'm on. And there's a up close. But they got their hair, except for that guy. Mendez don't have hair. But that's going to be a different video altogether. Okay, let me get back to where I was. Okay, and it was a paperback version of the book. Apparently it went by the movie. And it was a Power Records. I think that's what it was called. Yeah, Power Records. You could put the little 45 in a record player, and it'd play this, and you could read it also. I had it. And there's the VHS copy of The Battle for the Planet of the Apes. It's McDonald, Caesar, and Virgil in the desert right before they go into the Forbidden City. And then came DVD and Blu-ray. Let's see, anything else I left out? No, that's about it. But so that was the history of the Planet of the Apes, the battle for the Planet of the Apes. I met Paul Williams last year, 2 years ago, at a Comic-Con. He's about one of the few Planet of the Apes people left. Of course, he's also known for being Little Enos in the Smokey and the Bandit. Let's see here. Hold on, one more time. There's my grandson with him. I had to be in line for another picture, so he went. He took that one. You can see my grandson is 13 there, and he's bigger than Paul Williams, taller anyhow. But I got to meet him in person when I got the autograph. So that's it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this look back on the Planet of the Apes. I should have said it at the beginning. I keep forgetting to do it at the beginning. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. And please share this on your Facebook page. Of course, I say that at the beginning, but the dog pictures, but I don't say the share part, but I'd appreciate if you did. And until the next video, I'll see you out there. Bye-bye.